All right. Excellent connection. We'll see how that. We'll see how that goes. I do remember these last few streams we've gotten some connection issues, so hopefully today will be different. All right. We'll just be waiting just for a few minutes, just for people to come in. Gives me some time to link level in Dokkan. Alright, let me make sure chat is visible. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Ooh. I cleared a mission. I wonder what that was for. Okay, I've done almost 1,000 runs with this Int Oceanus Shenron. And I cannot get the last link level I need done. And it's driving me absolutely mad because I just want to link level a different character. Ugh. Alright. But as of the time of streaming, we are entering the 2023 worldwide download celebration. Which is a Goku Black Saga from Dragon Ball Super themed one, which means after, like, what, 3 or 4 years, we finally have a new Vegito Blue in Dokkan. We also have another Fuse Zamasu, but the problem is it shares the same name with the Int Summonable LR, which really sucks because they could call him, like, Merge Zamasu Half Corrupted or something, just that way you can run the two together. I don't know why they decided, nah, not substantial enough to get a different name. But I digress. Just another minute or so, and then we'll get started with the pre-stream, and then we'll hop right into the main event. Alright. As you can see, because I've been gone for a bit, we have quite a lot to talk about. But a lot of this has just come up within the last few days. So, yeah. You might be wondering where I've been. I'll talk a bit about that, and then, we'll hop into, excuse me, the pre-stream. I mean, I guess I'm starting it now, but oh no, I still have ice in there. You can totally hear whenever I drink a bit of water. Alright. By the way, it's been super warm as of late. And I turned off my fan and closed the window just so that way there wasn't background noises. So I hope you all appreciate this because I'm going to be very warm throughout the duration of this stream. But I have been gone for quite a while. I think it's been about a month and a half since I last streamed, and that is because I have been in a musical. I have been in a musical again. It is what I love doing. This year actually marks the 10th year of me doing theater. And it's something that I love doing. It is something that if voice acting doesn't work out professionally, I would love to, be a actor on Broadway or a touring actor, just something like that. Even if it's professional theater, not in New York or, for a theater company in different states, I would love to do that. On stage. Excuse me, you'll have to forgive me. I didn't get very much sleep last night because I got a medication for my depression and anxiety. And it has been, it's the first few days, so it's been kind of hitting me rough, but we'll make it through. But I would love to be a professional actor, whether that's voice acting, camera work, or on the stage. Hey, I got a link level 10. But it's not for Intoshianus, so doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter because, I'm link leveling more than the one character. But I digress. I was in a community theater rendition of Newsies the Musical. It did better than we could have hoped because it was a brand new theater production company. Opened up this year. We sold out pretty much every show, and we had to order additional seats. Order additional seats twice. That's how well it did. But I feel like I've dilly-dallied and sort of sat around long enough. Let us actually start the pre-stream proper by going over all of these. Alright, so we have Death Note the Musical in concert. Now this is interesting because this is the London West End show. Which is big because it's its European debut, which is one of the first times, at least I have heard, of a sort of big budget, well, sort of big budget, I guess, highly regarded musical based off of an anime or manga. Guess it's based off the manga first, because you get what I'm saying. Based off the anime slash manga, Death Note. My mind is just completely scattered. Yeah, I didn't get very much sleep, and it also was kind of a rough day at work. So I'm really fighting an uphill battle here. Death Note, the musical. It's playing as of the recording of this in London, the United Kingdom. And hopefully it makes its way over stateside, because I would really love to see this show sort of take off here in the West. I believe in 2015 it got the award from the Korean Music Awards for Best Musical. I could be misremembering that. But it seems to be quite popular, and from what I've seen, it is a quite enjoyable show. And it's also getting really good reviews, including Theater Mania's review, which is actually how I heard about it. Or at least heard about the UK West End version. And I heard a bit of Amy Atkinson and Adam Pascal doing They're Only Human, one of the songs from the show. And it sounded really good, and I can't wait to read more reviews after I'm done with this stream. Or, listen to them. I'm sure Mickey Joe Theater has done a video on it. But I digress. Speaking of live action anime slash manga things, live action One Piece. Now, I never really got into the series. I have only recently gotten into One Piece via the 4Kids dub, because I have a friend who's been trying to get me to watch One Piece for years, and that's over 1,000 episodes of a show, and, I'm good. So I watched the 4Kids dub, and unironically, unironically, I love some of the, what's it called? Some of the 4Kids voice actors. Oh, the transponder snails are going to be disgusting. That's great news. Apparently, these are done practically instead of being special effects, which I think is very cool. In fact, Ichiro Oda, the original creator of One Piece, who has had a large hand in making this show what it is, actually owns one of these now, and that is great. But this show debuts in 6 days. Like I said, I'm really sort of really having an uphill battle trying to stay focused. So here's the poster I think it looks pretty good, but once again, I never really got into the show until I watched the 4Kids dub, which I know some people might absolutely detest me for, but really listen to, like, J. David Brimmer's performance as, say, Crocodile. And I believe he also voices Axehand Morgan. Like, oh, it's so good. It's probably my favorite voice of the character, so I'm very excited to see how they do it in live action. Of course, he's not a part of the first season from what we've seen of the plot synopses for each episode. But that's alright, because with how much buzz is going on about this show, there is almost a 50% guarantee of a 100% guarantee that there is going to be a season 2. And hey, maybe we can get Judi Dench, I think it was. Let me check. Dench. Nope. I didn't even spell that right. Who am I thinking of? Nobody's in chat right now, so I can't ask them. Wow, I spelled both of her names wrong. I am so sorry, Judi Dench. Huh. What is her name? Dr. Kureha. Jamie Lee Curtis. Hopefully, Jamie Lee Curtis watches the live-action One Piece and likes it enough to be Dr. Kureha in Season 2. She did talk about, being hesitant, and especially after Netflix's live-action One Piece. Live-action, what do you call it? Cowboy Bebop. It took me a while to even remember what show it was supposed to be. Because I've been kind of on this kick of watching live-action adaptations of anime and manga, which is how I found out about Death Note the musical coming to the UK. That's how I found out about this. And really just trying to find, like, good adaptations. And it actually has opened my eyes to some series I would have never looked at before. Like, The Guyver, and Guyver, I believe it's Dark Calling? Or just Dark Call? Dark Hero. I don't know where I got calling from. But those are cheesy 90s sort of B-movie, like, essentially Sentai shows. And the second one, Guyver Dark Hero, stars a young David Hayter, who is famous for voicing such characters as Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series, or just Metal Gear series, as well as Zangetsu from Bloodstained. Hey, you could totally check out the link in the description for my Stream Archives playlist, where you will find a... Oh, excuse me. You will find a playthrough of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Of course, I will play through Ritual of the Night and Curse of the Moon 2. I have them both. I enjoy them both. It's just... time and energy, all that. But Ichiro Oda put out a statement about the live-action One Piece, and I wanted to go over that. He says, so, the live-action One Piece, the teaser and trailer are now out, and the launch date for the show itself is set for August 31st. I'll say this, there were no compromises on this show. Not a single scar from fleeing. Sure, Captain Banana Nose. Banana Stash. I think that's Captain Whitebeard? It's the One Piece is real meme guy. And once again, because I've only gotten into the show via the One Kid, or the 4Kids One Piece dub, I don't know anything about this character. But he seems to have a lot of swords impaled in him. Of course, I know that the 4Kids One Piece dub is not the most accurate. It is quite derided amongst the anime community. And once again, because I was being maliciously compliant to that friend who wanted to have me watch One Piece after all this time. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, and the festivities have already begun. It's already fun seeing the flurry of reactions after each release of information, and the very fact that adapting One Piece into live action was conceived 7 years ago is wild. How will this world be brought to life? There was so much that went into it. All the efforts by the actors, the building of the world and the costumes, presenting things in a way that could only be done in live action, the dialogue, and the entire process so many people putting their heads together was a festivity in and of itself. After the launch, I'm sure I'll hear about some people pointing out how this character is missing, or that this scene is omitted, or that this bit is different from the manga. But I'm sure they'll come from a place of love, so I intend to enjoy even those comments. Lol. The story will span 8 episodes and take us through you-know-where. Stop counting what you've lost. This character I know is Jinbei. Stop creaking, chair. Even after... Thank you, Tudum. Is that supposed to be like the dum? Is that why they named it Tudum? Because I always thought it was like a play on Tada. I need to stop getting distracted. Even after the shoot was over, there were numerous scenes the production agreed to reshoot because I felt they weren't good enough to put out into the world. On the other hand, there were also some lines I thought didn't feel like Luffy on paper, but when I saw the film scenes, I went, it works when it's Iñaki performing it as Luffy. As a matter of fact, it works great. Iñaki is the actor who plays Luffy, by the way. There were so many things that had to be done to keep things from looking too unnatural in live action. I know I keep pausing, and I swear I will just continue reading in a minute. But the fact that Ichiro Oda and the live-action Netflix team had this back and forth, had these reshoots done, had these, sort of wait it out and see how the actors perform it. uh, really shows me that a lot more time and care is going into this, especially once again after Cowboy Bebop came out and the original creator couldn't watch past the first scene, or the opening scene of the first episode in the casino. It reminds me of what's his name? Christopher Nolan and I forget her name. Zack Snyder's wife, both vowing to never let Zack Snyder watch the theatrical cut of Justice League. So that's what it reminds me of. Anyway, the producers and the crew are total pros at live action, and frankly, they're One Piece superfans too. The more knowledgeable you are about One Piece, the more likely you're noticed to love they poured into this. It was June when we made the final decision to go ahead and launch this show, which is very funny that Oda mentions this, because I believe it was in May or something, or when they were drafting this up, Oda had Netflix promise him that they wouldn't release the show until he was satisfied with the final product. But my editor, who worked so hard on this actually cried as he said, "It was such a long journey." Lol. Not that working hard on something guarantees success, of course. By now, I just love that this production team and the cast so much, I can't wait for them to get the acclaim they deserve from everyone around the world. And if by chance people have some gripes, I'll be here to receive them together. Now, whatever feelings you choose to harbor in the meantime, it's still going to be 1 month, so please have some tea as you wait. Ichiro Oda. And then a cute little drawing of Luffy enjoying some tea. Ooh, that's embarrassing. Speaking of Luffy. Alright. Here we have, from what I've seen One Piece fans talk about, this is a very iconic scene where they all put their foot up on a barrel. This is Makinyu Arata as Roronoa Zoro. This is Emily Rudd as Nami. Jacob... Emily Rudd, Makinyu, Jacob Romero. I'm so sorry. I swear I looked at all this beforehand, but my brain is mush. As Usopp. And Taz Skylar as Sanji. Now, something that's interesting, and of course, Iñaki Godoy as Monkey D. Luffy. Something that's interesting is Taz Skylar and Iñaki Godoy are apparently reprising their roles for the Spanish dub of the show. So that'll be interesting to hear. And the original One Piece voice actors will also reprise their roles for the Japanese version. So that's really interesting. And then we got these Morgan Davies as Kobe, Aiden Scott as Helmeppo. I completely forgot that Helmeppo is Captain Axan Morgan's son. That shows you how much I was paying attention. Once again, I was doing a show, working, and trying to squeeze in episodes of One Piece for kids. So, really, watching this is just going to be me watching it for the first time. So yeah, we have the cast here. You know, we got the principal actors. The set design looks amazing. The special effects, let's turn that down. Ooh. Let me turn down my monitor so that way sound doesn't bleed. Anyway, hello, hi. Yeah. Buggy looks so cool to me. Then we have Elvira, the Arlong Park, Baratier. No one messes with my friends. Shanks, Mihawk, the serpent that eats Shanks' arm, I believe. But also, I just wanted to show up. Can you please... Gum Gum Gatling, I believe it is, that he's doing against Arlong here. And honestly, the special effects look really good, and a lot of the practical effects are amazing. Like I already talked about the transponder snail. We have the Going Merry here. And just a lot of this is so good. I, of course, will tell you to watch these actual full videos without me talking over them and skipping 90% of it. But of course I fear copyright, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna play the entire thing. But I just wanted to show you the trailer that just came out. This is the same trailer, but it came out earlier today, showing off the Japanese cast. Really, like, this is what I think live action adaptation should do. It shouldn't replace the original. If anything, it should be a way for people who aren't as into animation, or something like One Piece's case where there's over 1,000 episodes. It's just a quick little 8-episode thing. If it's awful, you know, it's only 8 episodes. But if it's great, amazing, fantastic, you have a whole new slew of people who want to watch this show and read the manga. You have a whole bunch of new fans. Let me see if I can get Zoro in here. Ah. I just think this shot looks so cool, and I can't wait to see it in action. But that's all I wanted to show for that one. I I believe it was last night, a drone show celebrating the release of, or the upcoming release of Netflix One Piece. Or I guess live action One Piece, because One Piece in some territories, the anime is available on Netflix. I don't know what to call it. I see some people refer to it as OPLA, which is One Piece live action. You know, sounds like a lot of opla to me, but whatever. But really, like, this drone show is really cool, and I wish I knew where it came from. The different straw hats for Straw Hat Pirates, haha. Because it's really cool. Please don't copyright me. Hey, look, it's the Going Merry. Look at that. The pirates are coming August 31st. And then we have Buggy. And a heart with Ichiro Oda's name. And I believe that is the end of the thing. Once again, check this out. I believe this is not this original. Santa Monica Pier. Nice. Neat. Or at the very least, it was somebody from Phoenix Nests, uploading this, but of course, you know, Phoenix Nests isn't responsible, but thank you, Phoenix Nests, for the footage. And then, yeah, this is just me going over Mayumi Tanaka, Kazuya Nakai, Akemi Okamura, Keppe Yamaguchi, and Hiroaki Hirata are all reprising their roles for the Japanese dub. So, if you want to watch live-action One Piece, but you just can't get behind anybody but the original Japanese cast playing these characters, well, there you go. You can have your live-action One Piece and eat it too. This analogy is weird, and I'm going to stop it now. Anyway, right. This is another thing that Ichiro Oda put out. Believe it or not, that world actually exists. It's ready! The One Piece. Or, not The One Piece, but One Piece. The live-action One Piece. Since it's Netflix, you can watch it in your household or on your smartphone. But it might as well be a movie, so you should watch it on as big a screen as possible with the volume cranked up and enjoy it as many times as you'd like. See, you can start to hear it. The fearsome roar of the pirates. Do you have your swords? Food all ready? Whatever you do, spare your lives. Off you go. On to the great pirate era. It's time to set sail for mystery. Alright, but you all came here for Sonic. And Sonic is what we're gonna talk about. Finally. Some event happened. I think it was like Gamescom. 2023 happened. And we got some new trailers for Sonic. We got a multiplayer trailer for Sonic Superstars, as well as a release date, October 17th, as you can see here. We can watch the trailer, but I'm just gonna go over it. We saw some of the Emerald abilities. We know what all 7 are, including possibly Super Sonic. We've got the bios here. I'm pretty sure I've gone over this in a previous live stream. But finally, digital and physical Pre-orders are live. I do not have the money, otherwise I would totally pre-order this right now, just so that way I could get all this. The digital deluxe version is $70. So keep that in mind. We've got more of that stuff over here. Keep in mind, they still have not updated this to include Steam yet. It is just Epic Games. So if you are buying this game on PC and you want that classic Amy skin, keep in mind you can only do this once per email. So please, if you're going to subscribe to this newsletter and you click Epic Games thinking that it'll also work for Steam, from what I have seen, it will not work. Alright, but now that we've gone over that, the Digital Deluxe Edition, if you pre-order any version, you get the Lego Eggman character skin, but if you get the Digital Deluxe Edition, you get the Lego Fun Pack, Feels the Rabbit, which was the original, one of the original concept designs for Sonic the Hedgehog, as a character skin. I think that is amazing, and I love it. As well as Silver Sonic parts for Battle Mode, a digital art book, and mini soundtrack. I always enjoy the art books. I never really use the mini soundtracks, because, I mean, personally, I just look up a soundtrack on YouTube. But it's always a nice way to, you know, own that collection without needing an internet connection. And of course, most of the time they release the full soundtrack a little bit after, but this is a nice way to get high quality versions of the game's soundtrack. And finally, you get bonus main menu wallpapers. Not this again. Oh no. Alright. I think that is it for Sonic Superstars news. However, there is one more thing I want to talk about. Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers Update 3 also got a trailer. Mars Animation Planet came in and did a CGI teaser trailer. So, we have had a script leak from the game's files from Update 2. I have avoided it. Please, if you have seen it, if you know about it, please do not spoil it for myself or anybody else. If Update 3 is already out, which I will have a full playthrough of the game to see what all has changed. That will probably be my New Game Plus playthrough. But judging from this trailer, it seems like mainly it's Uranus that's changing, because you can see the structures in the background. People were hoping that Uranus was going to look different, and some people are really hoping and praying because Mars Animation Planet is doing this and it's not in-game footage, that Uranus will look different. I don't think it will. I think it's still going to look like Kronos Island. You can be upset with it. It is what it is. You can change everything in this world except for someone else's mind when they don't want to. But We see Tails, Knuckles, and Amy back in their cyber forms. Sonic seemingly isn't affected by the corruption, so their sacrifice threw them back into their cyber forms, presumably, because they aren't corporeal. However, spoilers for, what's it called? Spoilers for Sonic Frontiers. They don't really seem to regain, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy don't really seem to regain their corporeal form until Sonic defeats the end? So maybe they're getting rid of the sequence on Rhea where they locked themselves back in cyberspace to undo Sonic's cyber corruption, but then why is he not corrupted in this? I don't know. Once again, I am purposefully avoiding any spoilers because I want to experience it all with you. And I'm very excited to see, like, Eggman's running around, we got Sage here, maybe we actually get to see Eggman tracking down that Chaos Emerald he shows up with. I find it so funny in the game. You collect 5 emeralds, and then Eggman acts so high and mighty because he got 1. Sage is with him. Maybe we'll get to play as Sage? Maybe? Like Sage and Eggman going and finding the final emerald. I don't know where on Uranus you would, like, switch to them. I don't even know if Eggman's going to be playable. That would be cool if they let you, play as Eggman to get the last emerald. But, I don't know how much of that is actually, going to happen. So here we have Supreme. Hold up. Dark theme. Does that help at all with the edging on the board? Yeah, that helps somewhat. But here we have Supreme. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to turn it to light mode. Why did it reload? Nope. Okay. Well, dark theme. Why does it reload the page? That's so weird. Anyway, so we see Supreme here. He's got a whole lot of arms. We know that once again, spoilers, because with this trailer, it's, Kishimoto already confirmed on, I can't even call it Bird App. The website and social media platform formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, that they were going to be rewriting the ending. So I have to talk about spoilers. I'm sorry. Plug your ears, people from a few minutes ago when I started talking about this. Spoiler alert, 5 minutes ago. But Supreme has a whole bunch of arms. And I don't know if it's a giant robot being controlled by the concept of death. I think it has evolved past gender. Jealous. Anyway. Supreme has a bunch of arms now. I don't know what that's gonna do. It does help it stand out from Giganto. And certainly having arms and those wings It's going to be interesting to see how the boss plays out. I don't know if they're going to have those QuickTime events that were left over in the game's files for the boss fight show back up. That could just me be talking out of my butt. And I recognize that, they just probably... I know, Kishimoto said that I believe they didn't have enough time to, polish them as much as they would like, and so left them in a half-finished state. In the game's files rather than scrapping them entirely. But maybe they'll finish them up and do it for Supreme Mark II or whatever it's gonna be. So here we have Sonic turning into Supersonic. It's interesting that Eggman isn't in his mech. I didn't even think about that, because he parks it in, or just outside the temple when you go and talk to him in the base game, when he hands you the last emerald. So maybe there's something that happens, like Supreme shoots Eggman down or something, or like tries to suck Eggman back into cyberspace, and it gets his egg pod, but like Sage saves him or something. I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I don't know if Eggman's going to have a larger role in the ending or not. I certainly hope that Sonic's friends do. I would love, for after you beat an island, you're able to switch to the character that you just saved, to explore the island more. Maybe they could have their own challenges, that only spawn when, that character is with you. And, they can help you explore the next area, but then only Sonic can fight the Titan because he's the only one that's corporeal. But then, you can play cyberspace stages with them, at the very least, or something. Like, even if they aren't playable in the open zone, which I really hope they are, just playing cyberspace stages with them after you've beaten them, or gotten all the Chaos Emerald Vault keys from a stage. Just something to incentivize more replayability. And that's what each update has done a fantastic job with. It has incentivized people to play the game over and over again. And you know what? I love it. New Game Plus, with Extreme Mode, great. The Spin Dash, and the arcade mode, and the Battle Rush and Cyberspace Rush, amazing. I love them. It makes me keep playing the game. It makes me keep getting better. The sense of control I get with all the different options for momentum, speed, jump height, and whatnot. It's all something that makes me keep coming back to this game specifically. And I really hope whatever Kishimoto and Sonic Team have cooking is great. But speaking of the cyber corruption, it seems like people have just been calling this Supersonic 2 because his eyes turn blue, and it's even got the electricity. As you might notice, new form. Oh, look at that. Supersonic blue eyes. Look at that. Supersonic blue eyes. Look at that. Supersonic red eyes to blue eyes. It's so interesting. I wonder if Tomoyo Otani did new music for this, or if they're bringing in another composer, or if they're just using songs that weren't heard in the game but were like on the soundtrack that they released. I don't know if there were any unused tracks that were released as a part of the official soundtrack. Excuse me. But I'm really excited to see what this is, and I'm interested to know what the blue eyes mean, what the like Kaioken power up cyber corruption does for Sonic. Like, does it just make him stronger, or is there some gameplay differences? Or is he able to do new combos? Does it... I don't want to sit here and go, oh, you know, this is gonna make Super Sonic be able to just boost through things and destroy it. But, you know, being able to unlock this sort of cyber boosted Super Sonic for the previous boss fights, or heck, what modders have been doing since the very start of the game, and after you 100% absolutely everything, just let you play as Super Sonic in the open zones, because that would be so good. But after almost an entire hour of doing things other than playing a video game and just talking and sitting here, also it's called the Final Horizon Update, which I think is a great name for it. It comes with new story, new playable characters, and new challenges. Now, I will say I did know of the playable characters Tails, Knuckles, and Amy from the leaks that happened when Update 2 came out. Once again, up until now, I have purposefully avoided any spoilers for the story. I just watched their animations. But this will be coming out September 28th, and it is free for all players if you buy it now, if you bought it day one. Doesn't matter which version you got, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Steam. It's coming out on September 28th, and I hope it comes with more quality of life improvements, like each other version has. But it's really exciting to see people so excited and, you know, making up all these different theories, and just being excited. Alright, but speaking of updates, like I said, an update came out just yesterday. Yep, just yesterday for Sonic Origins Plus. And it fixed quite a few issues. So we'll go through it and see sort of what they changed, what's the same, whether it's a good deal, whether it's, you know, still something that hardcore fans should avoid. I personally don't mind Sonic Origins, but that is because I have alternatives. I own Sonic 1 Absolute, Sonic 2... No. Sonic 1... Sonic 1... Is it Sonic 1 Absolute? Sonic Sonic 1 Forever and Sonic 2 Absolute, the decompilation of both the mobile and the Steam versions of Sonic CD, and Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited, which are fan remasters of all these games, except for the emulated Game Gear games. But without further delay, we will talk about the actual patch notes. New features: players can toggle off anti-aliasing to have a nearest neighbor pixel rendering in Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles and CD, and all Game Gear titles in the options menu. Yes. Hooray. Big claps. We finally have a fix for the blur of Sonic Origins. If you don't know, anti-aliasing was turned on for all versions of the game, including PC, but you could turn that off with a fan mod. Or I guess with a mod. I shouldn't have to specify fan mod because, well, you know. With a mod. Ooh, my mic is dusty. Anyway, with a mod. And now that is just an option, so every version can turn off that blur. If you never noticed it, all the more power to you. If you did, and it bothered the heck out of you, now you can turn it off, and everything looks crisp and clean, and it's nice. There still aren't, like, sort of good video filter options, but once again, I personally was never expecting any of those for this. I do not mind that there aren't any, but some people have brought that up, wishing that they had gone the extra mile. Once again, doesn't bother me. I have other ways to play these games that do have those, and because I play on the PC version for this game in particular, I can mod it how I choose, but I digress. New features. Players can toggle Game Gear sound to mono in the options menu. This feature addresses the double audio Game Gear audio issue. So, particularly in games like Sonic 2 and Sonic Triple Trouble, because the game played in stereo and the Game Gear had mono sound, the game audio essentially doubled up, and occasionally it would desync for some players, and it became very distracting. So now you can turn it to mono, and it should sound just fine. Alright. Game Gear games will now fill into the provided screen space properly. So I'm assuming, especially with that nearest neighbor pixel rendering, it's going to be a cleaner upscale. I never personally, because I don't really play the Game Gear games that often, I never personally noticed any weird shimmering or video artifacts, but that's because I essentially tested each game once, and I wasn't even really, I was just sort of goofing around by myself, wasn't really talking to anybody, so that way, I wasn't super focused on the little details, and of course I wasn't doing it live at the time. So Super Amy will have proper after images while running. That is very cool. I'm assuming they mean Hyper Amy. Because usually the super characters don't have after images. It is the hyper characters that do. Which, with that and the fact that they don't mention the whole Super Amy, Hyper Amy discrepancy, makes me believe they're still going to not tell you that you can play as Super Amy in Sonic 2, Sonic 1, and they're still going to call Hyper Amy Super Amy in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm not going to do an entire playthrough on stream again, just to double check and show you all. You can get the game yourself, or, watch somebody else, with footage past August 24th, 2023, to see whether they could call her Hyper Amy or still call her Super Amy. But I digress. Amy's movements will appear smoother in Sonic 2 special stages. I haven't touched Amy in Sonic 2, or I haven't played as Amy in Sonic 2, phrasing. So I didn't notice this. I didn't notice it in any of the footage that I watched, but I'm sure somebody did, including the people who patched it. I haven't heard anybody talk about that, so I didn't know that was an issue, but I'm glad that it's fixed. Metallic Madness Zone 2 item boxes, location, and contents are properly placed. In Quartz Quadrant Zone 2, Amy will no longer disappear as the camera moves away in certain conditions. I did see a video of that. It was quite funny, as a viewer, probably not as somebody playing the game, especially in Quartz Quadrant, because you're zipping up and down and all around, Sonic Adventure. It's very easy to lose track of yourself. And so, having Amy not disappear will be very nice. Players can now pause the game while in Doomsday Zone. I believe, Charai5, I know I mentioned him a lot during these streams. I enjoy his content, and will always try to shout out the people who inspire me. And I always try to give credit where I can, for the things that I do, the I keep getting distracted. I apologize. But Char5 made a video going into Doomsday Zone with Amy, and I believe that was where I heard about Origins not being able to pause during Doomsday Zone. I could be misremembering. It could be a different video. It could just be one of my playthroughs. I don't think I noticed, because I don't typically pause during Doomsday, which is probably why they didn't notice during testing. Or maybe they did, and just haven't had time to address it until now. But once again, better late than never. People can argue that yes, this should have been how the game released. This should have been here since day one, etc., etc. Once again, I say better late than never. I'm glad it's here. I'm not upset that they're making these changes, but I understand why people are upset that it took them over a year to make these changes. So yeah. You couldn't pause the Doomsday Zone. Now you can. In boss rush mode against Egg Tilter, Knuckles will have proper rolling animations from springs. I'm gonna be honest. I played through boss rush as Sonic in all the games. Because you start Carnival Night Zone without any rings, I kept dying to it and having to start all the way from the beginning because I wanted to do it without dying is so frustrating. So once again, something I didn't notice, but I'm sure somebody did, so it's good that they addressed it. In Flying Battery Zone, spin dashing into the magnetic presses will no longer result in instant collision death. Well, that's good. Can they do the same for the spikes in Casino Night Zone? Not Casino Night. Yeah, Casino Night Zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Because that's really frustrating. And makes it really hard to get out of that area with the switch that you're almost... I'm pretty sure you are supposed to spin dash under it, but if you go through it too fast, you can get crushed by that collision. So it isn't mentioned in the patch notes, but I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway, the correct description for jump is now present in the Chinese localization of the Sonic 3 and Knuckles digital manual. Great. In competition mode, Knuckles' change direction movement has been adjusted. I have no idea what that means, but for the three of you who play Sonic 3 and Knuckles' multiplayer mode, huzzah! Knuckles is fixed. I don't know if this makes him better or worse. I don't know if there's a meta for the Sonic 3 competition mode. Alright, excuse me. Additional physics adjustments have been made in Sandopolis Zone. Great. I know a lot of people have complained about the characters going way too fast and using Sandopolis Zone as a great example of how it kind of breaks the scripting for certain segments and can lead you getting killed in unfortunate ways. So, that is very, very good. I'm sure it's still not one-to-one with the original games. What have you, you know? They still aren't offering just the original Genesis ROMs. I don't think they fixed the music sounding muffled, and they did not replace the Origins tracks with the prototype tracks. I know some people are very upset about that still. Once again, I understand, especially with the music. But once again, I'm playing on the PC version, so I can mod it. However, I know a lot of console players aren't going to want to mod their systems. A lot of the systems that's available for don't even have mods to begin with. And I'm not gonna sit there going, oh, well, I can mod it, so I don't care if it gets fixed or not. I want this to be the definitive ways to play these games. And, you know, a lot of the rough edges have been smoothed over. But really, it comes down to if $40 for everything, the 12 Game Gear games, the 4 Genesis/Sega CD games, and all 4 playable characters in every single game is worth it to you. I will say, once again, there are fan patches for the other versions, if you own them. If not, I'm not going to condone piracy because, once again, support the official release. But, once again, if you're looking for the definitive way to play these games, the fans have done it better than Sega themselves. However, I will say, if you're just a casual fan or somebody who doesn't care about all these little minute details, somebody who doesn't mind that the music sounds a bit muffled, who doesn't mind, the game's looking a bit blurry, well, now you can turn that off. So, somebody who doesn't mind this, that, or the other thing, the audio doubling, whatever, the physics not being one-to-one with the original Genesis titles. If you're just looking to get into the series, this is a fine collection to do it with. If you are a super fan and you're looking for the best possible ways to play these games, or, you're just somebody who feels like you're missing something if you don't get the best possible way to do it, once again, Origins Plus may not be for you, unless you get the PC version and you mod it. But once again, if you already own the other versions, it's easier just to play those with the fan patches. But anyway, let me get back to the actual patch notes. Sonic Origins Plus is fine. I don't have too many problems with it. I am a fan. I'm not being paid to say this, of course. Not that I think anybody would accuse me, somebody who, as the time of this stream, has 61 subscribers, of trying to trick what little audience I have to this live stream that has 0 viewers. Of being a paid promoter of Sega or being like a Sega partner or whatever. That is not the case. I have just been a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog since I was 2 or 3 years old. One of my earliest memories is playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And I just want people to see these games in the best possible light. Anyway, menu text will no longer shrink after entering the museum and returning to the main menu. That sounds hilarious. I never saw that, but I also don't really use the menu that much. Or, not the menu, the museum that much. Amy will now be able to complete stage loops while using her rush attack. Like the shuttle loop? Like the loop-de-loop? Is that what they mean by stage loops, or are they talking about, like, level wraps? I don't know. Essentially, a level wrap is going from the bottom of a stage to the very top. Think stages like Marble Garden Zone use that to their advantage. So, it feels like you're climbing up and up and up, when really, if you were to drill through the ground and just go from left to right, you would end up much further into the stage. It's a very good way of getting a lot of exploration out of little map, considering the limitations of the time. Anyway, I digress. I need to get to the actual game. It's been an hour and almost 20 minutes. And I have not actually played the game that I have advertised that we are going to play. Anyway, the game will no longer crash while playing as Sonic and Tails after collecting the 6th Chaos Emerald in Sonic 1. I haven't actually heard anybody talk about that, but that seems like a pretty big thing you wouldn't want to miss. So good. I'm glad they got rid of that. In Sonic CD, extras that are unlocked will now remain unlocked. As somebody who forgets to save their games in games that don't have autosave, that is a very nice addition. In Sonic CD, Amy will appear in the proper coordinates after time traveling in certain levels. And then platform-specific updates, the Steam version will no longer have save data corruption occurring. Or the Epic Games Store. So if you play on Epic Game Epics, you don't have to worry about that either. But anyway, now it is time, an hour and 20 minutes into the stream, to actually play the game that the stream is named after. I'm so happy. And of course, on September 28th, I will be live with the third update for Sonic Frontiers. I don't know if it will be noon. Let's go into options, graphics, anti-aliasing is done. Display 1, yes. Letterbox. Was this? Okay. Gamepad, keyboard. Oh, it would probably be in... Yeah, okay, there we go. I was about to say, didn't they talk about the sound for the Game Gear games? Duh. It's in sound. So... Let's just go... Oops. Let's go to Sonic 2, so that way we can, love that crunchy audio. So yeah, Thursday, September 28th, I will be going live. Once again, I don't know if the update will be available at noon. It might be available later in the day. Subscribe, hit that bell! I'm no longer going live twice every week, so you don't have to worry about me absolutely clogging up your subscription feed. But whenever I make a community post talking about going live the next day, oops. Oh yeah, you can save and load. Neat. Alright. Well, already I can tell you the, Nice. The audio is much better. Oh, nice. No. Is it... Overcha? No. It was Overcha. No. Where is this? There it is. And once again, these are emulations. They are not... remasters like the Genesis and Sega CD games are. They still aren't using the Master System versions of these games. So of course you have the very limited screen space, but it is better now than it was. But with that, you don't get better screen resolution, you don't get less slowdown, and you don't get the spin dash. Because, fun fact, the Genesis version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I believe came out a few weeks after this, or the Genesis version, I believe, came out after this. So, that game introducing the spin dash, the folks who are making the Game Gear and Sega Master System version either weren't privy to it or did not have time to implement it. I don't know if anybody's done a decompilation or just looked inside the game's source code to see if there are unused sprites of a spin dash. But either way, there is no spin dash in the Game Gear / Mega Drive version of Sonic 2. I'll just get to the end of Underground Zone, hopefully beat the boss, which is very hard on the Game Gear version because it's so zoomed in. You can barely see the boss, and I find that so funny. Whee! Oh no, I missed it. Look at that, don't even need it. Whatcha? Oh no! Thanks, Eggman! But yes, on the Sega Master System, you can see... Oh! There's a boss there! Oops! But on the Game Gear version, you can't. Oh, nope. There we go. Whee! I love that, looking up and down, stops Sonic's animation. So, his quills no longer move. It's not something that's like, oh, super immersion breaking. It doesn't actually really matter. I completely forgot I was talking about the boss. So yes. The whole gimmick with this boss, I forget its name, is... You're supposed to dodge the balls as they're flying at you, so it damages the boss. Much easier said than done on Game Gear. Because they come from off screen, and the screen is so zoomed in, you can barely tell where the arc is supposed to be. That wasn't me playing it up like it was last time. Me trying to spin the narrative. That was me legitimately trying to do it. Come on. Please. Sonic. Sonic, please. Sonic, you're embarrassing me in front of my no viewers! Shoutouts in the comments if you've made it this far into the stream archive. I very much appreciate anybody and everybody who checks out my content. There we go. And then, no! Darn it. Alright, well. Gamma Ovar. Let's go back to the game catalog. If they update this game again, I would like them to add Master System. But once again, they don't have to. I'm not expecting them to. Oh, nice. There we go. I was just like, I don't want to have to play through all that again. Let's just go to Angel Island. I'm so used to playing Sonic Mega Collection that I pressed B instinctively instead of A. Alright. But this is a quick and easy stage where I can show you. Super Amy? She doesn't have any after image, y'all. Where's my after image, y'all? Sega, you promised me an after image. You still get shot out super quickly. You can still spam hammers. Ham spammers. It's so funny that the only, like, non-muffled sound is this song. Like, seriously, where's Hyper Amy's after image supposed to be? Because I can show y'all Hypersonic. Sega, you told me that Hyper Amy would have her after images. Also, I love that they still play the cutscene, of Knuckles taking the, Chaos Emeralds even as Hypersonic. Oh, something that people pointed out. In Sonic 1 and 2, they didn't go in and change the fact that, flashing image warning. Did they remove everybody else's after image? Nice. That was me being a doofus. Like, in the base game, you just get after images. What am I... Yeah, what? Sega! Sonic Team! Stop working on Frontiers Final Horizons update. You need to patch Sonic Mania, or Sonic Origins Plus again. That's so... Let me go to another Let me try dying as Amy. Maybe that'll work. Huh. Or maybe just the after images work now? Yeah, now they work. Huh? Okay. So they work after you die once. I'm sure a regular person, who's playing this game and hasn't, you know, played before, or even somebody who's normally adept at these games, but aren't, you know, perfect, wouldn't notice. Dang it, I meant to grab those rings. Ooh. I like the after image effect with her hammers. You wanna know, that would be very funny. If her... they didn't fix... Or I guess they didn't change the physics of Amy, actually... There we go. That's where the bubble shield is. Something that I missed in my playthrough. I was trying to remember where it was. It's right there. Now I'm curious to see if that still happens. Alright. Yep. Shows up properly in water. It seemed to have some layering issues with some of the stage elements is hypersonic, but let me tell you, it's so nice that Hyper Amy has her after images, because it was just missing that pizzazz, that extra little bit to show that you done it. I wonder if you can break that. You can! Heck yeah! Doesn't really do much. Alright. Let me just take care of some of these joiks. Whee! But yes. The game is still incredibly fun. So once again, if you don't care about all these little minute details and you just want to play a fun version of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, you can't go wrong with Sonic Origins Plus. Or maybe you can if you notice a whole bunch of glaring issues, but that's neither here nor there. Take this, flying battery! And that's how easy it is to destroy Eggman with hammers. Alright. So that was Amy, 3, and Knuckles. Let's check out Knuckles CD. Whoa, clear? This is something I didn't show off. Hello! Toy Animation is very trigger happy, and I do not want any of that. Shut up! Glide as Knuckles. No shot. I have never glowed as Knuckles. Glidden as Knuckles. Whoop. Got some dropped frames in here. Everything okay? Computer, clap twice if you can hear me. Oh, no, because it's in full screen. It's not going to let me go over. Okay. That's unfortunate. It's not saying that we're dropping any more frames now. Alright. Oh. I'm so used to playing as Sonic in Sonic CD. Yeah, okay. Oh! For some reason, the stream is not liking... Oh, that's nice. They changed the outline. I know people who typically play on PC might shame me for... I wonder if the glide maintains your speed enough to be able to go into the past, because that would be amazing. Let me test it out. Okay, not while turning. Can you initiate time travel whilst gliding? Because you do speed up. No, okay. Oh. But gliding is a very good way to make sure you're... Okay. Also, because we're here, I might as well find another future signpost. Just to show you what time traveling, to the different... There we go. Different... I love his animations. Different times look like in the middle of a stage. Yeah, Sonic CD, for some reason, is just killing my game. Not the actual, like, game itself, but for some reason, my stream keeps dropping frames, and it did not do that for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which I was arguably going much faster in. No! Oh, that was friggin'... Okay. Well, it's a good thing that just up here is another future sign. Hey! Oh, that's so cool. Badnik bouncing and then... Alright. Okay, alright. Of course, this is... using the Japanese soundtrack. Going to the title screen as you saw, in anniversary mode, of course, allows you to change what soundtrack you have. Oh, and we'll get to see Knuckles' sprites for the special stage. Oh, this is so nice. Alright. Alright, rough 'em up, Knuckles. Okay, I didn't mean jump into, Whee! Yeah. Oh, that was a weird collision thing. Something collision chaos, haha, Sonic CD has weird physics. That was true even in the original game. I think people, like, like to crap on the retro engine ports. But honestly, the original game had weird physics too. Alright. Yay! Ooh. Honestly, with the level design, it really feels like Sonic CD was made with Knuckles in mind. I almost hit the future sign. That was so cool. Oh. Oh. Here, let's... Oh, that's really cool. If you ever want to, like, get rid of your time travel state, you can just pick up some speed, not like I'm doing, glide, and then as you're about to go, turn. So that way it cancels the thing. I need to get super high up. Like, this is not at all where I'm supposed to be going for the robot generator. I don't even know if the Metal Sonic is down here, but that's fine. Ooh. No. I didn't want that. Once again, should you have to pay extra to play as Knuckles in CD? No, you really shouldn't. Am I glad he's here regardless? Of course. Get rid of that friggin' future sign, Knuckles. There it is. There it is. Let's just... Yep. Well, reaction speed wasn't the greatest. Alright. Oh, look at that. Making fun of me. Oh, you want that ring box? Nah, gotta go into the future to get it, bucko. So yeah, didn't find the Metal Sonic hologram. But we are getting the time stones, and that's what matters. Ah. Ah, dang it. I know what you really want to do, is you want to use the fan to hit that dude. But I figured, I'm already here. Dang it. Yeah, I never said I was very good at these special stages, I just find them to be fun. Personally, I think they're much better than the ones in Sonic Advance 2. But that is also a matter of opinion. If you like the Sonic Advance 2 ones more, great. I just will never collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds because I can't stand the fact that you have to do it with all the characters and this, that, and the other thing, and the fact that you have to collect all 7 in one run. But I digress. Alright. Well, it seems like I have dropped 1,111 frames. That's hilarious. But also, I'm getting sweaty. I will just play through some missions after I beat this boss. And then I will call it there. We've seen pretty much everything we want to see. We saw Knuckles in Sonic CD. We saw Amy, and Hyper Amy's wonderful new after images. I like how they added a bit of, not hit stun, but, invulnerability, or I guess, invincibility time for the boss. So that way you can't beat it in literally 3 seconds. By just boom, boom, boom. Now I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, but new content available. Gee golly! Is that the surprise? Wow. Alright. Oh. I was about to say, let's do all these challenges, because they seem easy. But this last one makes me have to play through the game to get to Wacky Workbench? No! No! I'll do these other 3, and then as like a pre-stream, I'll play up to that point in Sonic CD, and I'll see you all back there for that. What are the other ones? Use Amy's Jumping Hammer Attack or Hammer Rush in Sonic the Hedgehog. Plays Amy and destroy 1 Metal Sonic hologram in Sonic CD. Clear a stage in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as Amy and Tails. Let's do that one, then we'll do Sonic CD, then we'll end off with Sonic 1. And hey, we can say we saw all 4 main Sonic games in this. Alright. I like how it doesn't say Sonic and Tails, just Sonic Tails, Knuckles Tails, Amy Tails. Alright. So, I believe we have to clear a stage as, Amy and Tails. But while I'm doing that, I might as well get enough rings to go into the special stage and get at least 1 Chaos Emerald, because I want to see those new, smoother sprites for Amy. For Amy! Alright. 1 more, and there. I know I passed a checkpoint back there, but I also passed a checkpoint up here. $95. If this was the original game, all of those would be erased. Alright. Yeah. It matches the other characters. I'm sure what they did was take Sonic sprites and essentially paint over those. you know, they probably were missing a few frames or something. I don't know. I don't know the story behind the development of this. I know there was some drama over sprites. I'd rather not get into it. I think I talked about it during one of the pre-streams. Mention it in the comments exactly which stream it was. And I'll go, hey, thank you for watching my stuff. It means a lot, especially because, you know, I don't get a lot of views on my stuff as of right now. So I appreciate any and all, you know, feedback and interaction that I get. Alright, well, Amy got a Chaos Emerald. Ugh. I'm gonna take a shower after this. I feel so gross and grimy. Ugh. Alright, time to do it again. Fun fact, in the original Sonic the Hedgehog 2, for the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, it would erase your rings after every run. However, I believe it was in Knuckles and Sonic 2 where they first introduced, the game saving the amount of rings you had after the special stage if you beat it or, you know, lost. Which I'm assuming, you know, for a lot of people made it so much easier to get Super Knuckles rather than Super Sonic in Sonic 2. Considering that this game also didn't have a save function. Once you turned the system off, that was it. Unless you had a third-party add-on, which I don't even know if they made that for the Genesis. They made it for the Super Nintendo, definitely, cause Nitrous Radical. Oh, nice Tails. Oh, nice me. Nitrous Radical talks about in his Plock review. Okay, I wasn't actually paying attention to how many rings I needed. About essentially a save state creator for the Super Nintendo that you would plug in your cartridge to that was battery powered, and you would use that on your Super Nintendo, and you'd be able to, you know, save your games in games that didn't have battery backup saves. A neat bit of history for those who didn't know. Also, with pretty much anything that has, like, especially lithium-ion batteries, when you... Tails? Tails, where'd you go? If you are putting them in storage to be put away for a long time, take the batteries out. You can ruin your electronics pretty much forever. If those batteries corrode and explode inside those products. And if you want to use them again afterwards, just take the batteries out. I've seen some people online say, oh, well, you know, it's fine to keep rechargeable batteries in. No. Take them out. Just please. You know, I talk about preserving media, and part of that is taking care of things like your electronics. Which is why I cannot stress enough, please, please, please take batteries out of things you are going to store for a long time. 5 rings to go. 5 rings to go. 0 rings to go. Alright. I know some people were complaining online with this new update for Sonic Origins Plus. Oh no, my 1 ring. I swear if I lose this by 1 ring, Tails, it's your head. Okay, Tails, you get to live another day. Some people were complaining that we didn't get the Master System versions. We didn't get the better music. And once again, the music I will argue for, yes, we should get uncompressed versions of these songs, because the recordings that we have that are being used in this game are muffled. But overall, I'm happy with this update. Wait, what? Why didn't we get that before? I'm confused. But yeah, you just go into settings, Spin Dash Genesis Original. Oh, it's in soundtrack. Yep, soundtrack. What's it with me and just completely not knowing how to go through these menus. Hello. Once again, Studio Junio animated that sequence and it looks beautiful. I don't want to show it because I fear Toei. But yes. Don't forget to unplug or remove your batteries from your electronic devices when you are storing them for a long time. Have fun, be safe, thank you for listening. We still got a few things to do, including, hey there buddy, you just finished a challenge for me. But of course we will also go after the capsule. Dang it. I wanted to do the really cool bounce off the monitor and get almost all the way up there. But I guess I'm not cool enough, so we'll do it the boring way. Anyway, now we'll get to see Amy's sprite. She's so cute. Alright. Very excited for Sonic Superstars. When that releases on October 17th, once again, if I had money, I would pre-order the Digital Deluxe Edition. This was almost super cool. Not world record speed run of Sonic CD Special Stage 1, but that's alright. But definitely, if I am able to pre-order it, if I, work hard and eat my broccoli or something, I definitely want to get the game, definitely want to get the Digital Deluxe Edition, so I can share as many cool things with the rest of you as I possibly can. See, now this one didn't play the... Why did it play the animated... I'm so confused. So... Well, would you look at that? We beat the video game! Now we've got every part of the surprise, except for one. I wonder who could be behind this block. I bet it's Vector the Crocodile. It's the... This final block unlocks Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, and Knuckles' Chaotix. That's what's behind the block. Alright. This has been Max CVA, also known as Fiocco the Leader. Thank you so much if you have made it this far in the stream archive. I appreciate the support. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out what that was. It was Sonic. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. Once again, this has been Max CVA, also known as Fiocco the Leader. Peace.